Alright, so today we're going to be diving into 5 ways that you can use ChatGPT as a teacher or a professor. So there's various ways that you can use ChatGPT to make your life easier or to just upgrade your teaching experience. So to begin, one of the first ways that you can do that is by simply asking ChatGPT to help you when you're creating assignments or anything like that for your class, whether it be for university or for your grade school students. It doesn't really make a difference. It's just you would basically be asking ChatGPT to help you design some sort of work form for them, depending on what it is that you're doing, and that's in line with your curriculum that you are working on. So for instance, let's say you couldn't come up with a specific lesson plan or something specific for your course at a current time for whatever reason. You can go ahead and tell ChatGPT, for instance, obviously align it to your own circumstance, but in this case, let's say I am a teacher for grade 7 students, and we are currently covering the novel 1984 by George Orwell. Please create a series of questions that align with a grade 7 level of knowledge for chapter 2. And you can do that. You can say, please make it, for instance, 15 questions. Let's say you're preparing a quiz and you're not capable of doing this for whatever reason, or you want to be able to do this quickly and have it help you so that you don't have to spend too much time on something that's so menial because you'd be preparing the next part of your lesson plan or anything like that. You can go ahead and have it help you create your quiz or whatever it is that you're creating, whether it's for a quiz or for homework. And as you can see here, it'll basically come up with a series of questions that aligns with the parameters that you are setting. So you can basically go ahead and take a look, and you can see chapter 2 questions: who comes knocking at Winston's door? Who does not Winston feel nervous when he hears the knocking? Or why doesn't Winston feel nervous when he hears the knocking? Etc., etc. Always double check, however, because sometimes ChatGPT can make mistakes, or it might be aligned for a level of education that's higher than what you're teaching. So just double check, but usually it works very well. And you can even have it create a graphic for you or a actual document if you're using the upgraded version of ChatGPT, and you can literally just print it out and have it prepared and, do your little final touches on it and give it to the class if you need. So that's one of the easiest ways that you can use ChatGPT as a professor or a teacher to help you create on the whim very quick lesson plans or homework or assignment plans just very quickly. Another way as a professor or teacher that you can utilize ChatGPT to help make your life easier is by simply having it write emails for you, especially if you're not capable or you're busy doing something else. You can have ChatGPT write it up for you really quickly. So for instance, you can also use voice mode if you need to, if you're not capable of writing or whatever, or you want to just do it really quickly, but you can always just type it up like this and say basically, I am a professor, in this case at McGill University. I need you to write an email to my students for Psych 333 that I will not be in class today and class is canceled because I am sick. Please make it sound professional. Go ahead and click enter, and it'll be able to write you a nice outline for your email that you'll be doing, and you wouldn't even have to do much on your end except for fill in the parameters that you would need. That would fit exactly what you are or who you are. So for instance, you put in your name, you can edit the department if you need, and everything else. But if you read it out, it sounds very professional, and it helps you speed up your time, by not having to write an email yourself. So as you can see here, it says, "Dear students, I hope you are all doing well. Unfortunately, I am unwell and will not be able to hold class today. As a result, today's Psych 333 session is canceled. Please use this time to review your notes and readings from previous lectures." And you can always edit these things as well, but it gives you a nice, clean, professional-looking email that I'm sure you would have seen by now if you've ever taken a university course or any other form of class, that it just looks super professional. So that's another way that you can utilize ChatGPT to just help you write emails very quickly, very professionally, and being capable of editing it yourself even afterwards if you don't like the exact design of it. Another really useful thing you can do with ChatGPT as a professor or a teacher is the projects mode. Now, projects, it's just like a chat. You can do the same things as we did for creating a lecture plan or for creating some form of homework or assignment or quiz, but you can keep it organized and provide information to keep it up to date on a regular basis. So for instance, you can go ahead and click New Project, and then here you can go and you can either click Writing or you can click Homework, depending on what it is that you would be doing. Since you'd be writing a, let's say, a lesson plan, I'd like to keep it with homework because it'll stay more confined to the educational concepts that we'd be working on if you're a professor. So you go ahead and click Create Project. And then you can go ahead and just fill in with basically what you said earlier. We can go back to our grade 7 questions, and we can ask it to basically, ask it to create a lesson plan for us on this concept. So I'm a grade 7 teacher I'm a teacher for grade 7 students. We are currently covering the novel 1984 by George Orwell. Please create we could just say, lesson plan that matches their level of education for this topic. And you can actually say, please help me. And this way, you'd be able to interact with this and in this project and be able to operate and do things over time. Like, it wouldn't have to be immediate. So you wouldn't only be building a current lesson plan. You can always go ahead and update it, because when you have projects like this, you actually, all the information is completely confined to this project heading, such as homework here. So basically, all of the information that we've inputted into lesson plan for 1984, or you can even just title it the name of the class that you're teaching, you can constantly keep your information in there, and it stays confined to the framework of homework. And if you were creating a new project, you can even click up here on this little symbol here and make sure that every information stays specific to that specific project. So project can only access its own memories. Its memories are hidden from outside chats, meaning it doesn't have any other information from the outside sources. It stays confined to that lesson plan, and you can go ahead and upload any additional information using the icon right here, and it'll be able to remember that and reference it in the future. So as you can see here, we asked it to create a lesson plan, tentatively. So we saw here lesson duration, 1 to 2 class periods, and it goes over a variety of things that you can have in your curriculum. And you can also just tell it what you need in your curriculum, or what you're supposed to be teaching based on your curriculum, and it'll help update its recommendations on the information that you provide. You can even upload your schedules and the stuff that you need to cover, all in the project section of the homework one that we just created. So that's another super easy way that you can make your life easier as a teacher or professor by using ChatGPT. Another super easy thing that you can utilize ChatGPT to help your life as a professor or a teacher is to simply ask it questions regarding the stuff that you are doing. And in a simple way, what I'm trying to say is basically, let's say you have a lesson plan or a document or something that you've created yourself, or a rubric or grading way that you're going to be grading or looking at certain things that your students are doing. You can go ahead and simply upload it and ask it for feedback on it and ways that you can improve that. It's a very simple way that you can improve your overall teaching standards and your overall teaching ability by simply getting a third party to basically review and give you feedback on what you will be giving the students or what you'll be discussing with them. It can give you ways that you can implement different types of strategies while teaching, and ways that you can upgrade your overall teaching style if need be. So a very simple example of this is going back to what we had it create for us, where we had our 15 questions. We can basically say, I'm giving my students 15 multiple choice questions on the book 1984, as we discussed above. Are there any ways I can improve my testing methodology so that the students truly retain more information instead of only memorizing? We can ask it and see what it says. And by this, you'll get a third-party kind of opinion from something that's very calculated like ChatGPT to tell you whether there's another way that you can approach this, or any other way that you're teaching in your course. So as you can see here, you can say, absolutely, here's how to turn multiple choice into real learning, not just cramming. Quick, practical upgrades you can use tomorrow. And it gives a whole breakdown on how you can improve. And now whether you want to use this or not is up to you, but you can go and take a look at all the recommendations that ChatGPT gives to you and reflect if that meets your current curriculum and the teaching standards that you already have set out. But it's just a great way for professors and teachers to upgrade their game and, truly give the students an education that they deserve. And the last little tip for professors or teachers that can utilize ChatGPT, or a way that you can utilize ChatGPT to help your teaching experience, is to simply either, once again, create a new project or chat. And you can do it, for instance, we can go project only, and we can go writing, and we can go ahead and create the project. And then in here, all you'll be doing is basically keeping up to date with your lessons and your curriculum throughout the semester or throughout the school year, and basically just adding files and updating it with how lessons went each week, almost like a journal. So this would be your way of basically keeping track of how your year went throughout the year. And then you can utilize the information and try to figure out ways that you can improve your curriculum or semester or teaching methods the following year or the following semester. So all you'd have to do is just basically keep up to date like a journal. You can instruct it that it will be your journal. So for instance, you can basically tell it this: you will be my personal journal for teaching the course. Let's correct that. Psych 333, for example. I will be updating you weekly on how my methods and coursework has gone, so that in the future I can improve and find better ways to teach the information to my students in following semesters/years. So you can tell it that, and it'll basically absorb and learn that information. Always remember, like I said earlier, to adjust it that the project is set and confined. Let's go back just to show you. Confined to project only. That way it says and keeps all the project can only access its own memories. Its memories are hidden from outside chats. That way it stays confined to your journal, and you can go and keep all the information in one spot and build and learn from the stuff that you have done so far in the school year. So as you can see here, after we prompted it with this, it says, "That sounds like an excellent idea. Using me as a reflective teaching journal for Psych 333 will help you track what works, what doesn't, and your teaching evolves over time." Then it'll basically ask you, here's how we can set this up effectively. You would have your weekly entries, your reflection prompts, your long-term insights, and a privacy note. Since memory is currently disabled, I won't automatically retain your past journal entries between sessions. That's why it's important, as we said earlier, to have it on, or to turn it on in your settings. Just go back and verify, and that way it'll always have the information on hand as you go through the school year. So that's basically it. Those are 5 ways that you can upgrade your teaching experience and make your life a little easier while teaching with ChatGPT. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful, or at least insightful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and have a nice day.